Yes, yes. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. Welcome to your summer series in Daily Huddle Thursday Spiritual Matters. I bet you didn't know we organized something like this for you, did you? Yes. So this is a 10-part series wherein we are going to handle almost every part, if you think about it, of your life in terms of either a gateway as an entrance to your spiritual maturity, to your spiritual journey, or an accelerant to take you further into and through your spiritual journey. And today is part one. We're going to be talking about what treasures lie in your triggers, darling. And the reason why this is a foundational, appropriately so, beginning to this conversation is because there are many gateways to our spiritual maturity and accelerants to our journey that we would not step into if we didn't first make peace with the fact that they're inherently uncomfortable, inherently painful, inherently a contrast. And so the first thing that we have to handle is redesign our relationship with our own triggers so that we don't cower from them when they first come up. Would you find that useful? Wouldn't you find it useful if when something pisses you off, disappoints you, betrays you, offends you, insults you, in some way puts you down, that you can alchemize that relationship so that you come out on the other side stronger, better, and wiser? That'd be useful? Okay, so let's see what we can do in the next 25 minutes to make that happen. So why do I say that your triggers are your treasures? Part of the reason why I make that assertion is because the conversation around triggers tends to be as though it is a mistake, as though it is we'll call it a glitch in the matrix, as though it's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to, have a smooth time. And if you don't have a smooth time, it's going to cost you time or money or energy, some kind of resource that you don't have or that is in limited supply, and it's inconvenient. Let's flip that on its head. When you are confronted with an inconvenience, a disappointment, a delay, a betrayal, a lack of trust, et cetera, whatever the trigger might be for you, that's not costing you more resources. That's evoking more resources. In other words, you're going to have to come up with more patience, more communication skills, more grace, more empathy, if not for yourself, for others, more ingenuity in terms of how to resolve a particular problem or how to reach a particular goal that you have been committed to getting through to. And so it's not costing you resources, it's actually demanding more and evoking more of that, right? Having you become more and bigger version of what you already are. That's why one of the things that I talk about, one of the parables that I like to use is the parable of, you probably have heard Wayne Dyer, God rest his soul, when he used to say, the whole orange juice thing, right? The whole, like when you squeeze an orange, whether it's in hot weather, you get orange juice, cold weather, orange juice, upstairs, orange juice, downstairs, orange juice. Anywhere you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. What happens when you get squeezed? What comes out of you? And why is it that what comes out of you when you get squeezed is contingent on where, and how you get squeezed? Are you at the effect of your conditions? Or are you a master of your condition? Because if you're a master of your conditions, it doesn't matter what the condition is, you're going to get squeezed how you get squeezed. Whatever's going to come out is going to come out, what you already have inside. So I'm going to posit that the reason why when certain conditions happen, when you get squeezed, certain other things come out, whatever that thing comes out is the thing that you have not yet healed. That's why it leaks. And if you were to readjust your relationship with your triggers so that they would be considered treasures instead of inconveniences or a glitch in the matrix, then you would be positioning yourself to heal the things that are now leaking from you and show up as a master everywhere you go. And in the event that you do not have the capacity, that you have been impaired to show up as a master, that you can be self-aware enough to say, I say, but you don't have to leak poison. You could just say, I ain't got it today. Right? And make a powerful request so that you can still show up in your mastery, even when you don't feel like your mastery tools are readily accessible to you. I hope that's making sense. Put a 1 in the chat if this is making sense. If you're like, and then put a 2 in the chat if you're like, I wish I could get there. I ain't got it today, and I don't know when I'm going to get it. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, I'm a work in progress. 1 makes sense. 2, work in progress. Got it. Okay. So I want you to think of something. Here's an in-person or in-the-moment exercise that we're going to do. I want you to think of something that no matter who says it or does it, what time of the month it is, it's just going to hit you some type of way. It's going to trigger an anger response. It's going to trigger an annoyance response. It's just going to bother you in some way. It's just going to bother you. It's going to get you in your feelings. Think of something that's like your thing to get pissed about, your thing to get annoyed about, your pet peeve, if you will, okay? I'll give you an example. For me, it's when I think somebody's using passive-aggressive communication instead of speaking with the whole chest. That annoys me. I'm like, come on now. If you're big enough to be in front of me, you can be big enough to speak to me. You got it in your mind? You got your pet peeve? You got the thing that annoys you? All right. Now, I want you to think. Does this thing annoy you when you do it? Or are you like, no, I don't do it. I just hate it when it's done to me. Put a 1 in the chat if it annoys me because I do it. Or number 2, it annoys me when people do it to me or in front of me. I'm looking. A whole bunch of 2s. All right, so you don't like it when you see it in other people. Got it. Okay. So here's the exercise that I'm going to invite you to participate in. Some 1s as well. Okay. Here's the exercise I'm going to invite you to participate in. Whether it's something you do that annoys you or whether it's something somebody else does that annoys you, what do you think it means about you when that thing occurs, whether it's you doing it or somebody else doing it? What do you think it means about you when that thing occurs? Let me give you an example. I'm going to use my example. When somebody's using passive-aggressive language and they're just kind of like going around the block to hit the street, what I make up, the negative connotation that carries for me, which is why it bothers me so much, is 1, either you don't think I can handle the truth, or 2, you don't think I'm, I don't know, smart enough, wise enough, discerning enough, whatever, to pick up on what you're putting down. That you have to give it to me in breadcrumbs or tidbits, passive-aggressive little breadcrumbs. That's what my ego makes up, which is why it bothers me. I'm like, oh, so either you're a coward or you think I'm stupid. You see why that would be a trigger? Because who wants to jump to that conclusion, right? So I want you to think about, what is it that you think about you when that thing happens or when it's done to you? What's the negative connotation such that you would have such a negative response to that thing? Put some of that in the chat or speak it up if you want. We can play. Because then here comes the second question. Ready? That thing you think about you, such that it would generate a negative response. 1, Is it true? And two, do you believe that about other people? Do you believe? In my case, do I believe other people are stupid? Do I believe other people can't handle my truth? Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Yes, I do believe sometimes that people can't handle my truth. That is why I breadcrumb them. That's why I take them bit by bit. So when they do it to me, I'm like, hey. No. It's okay when I think you're stupid. It's not okay when you think I'm stupid. The thing is that we don't like to say those kinds of things out loud because then it's like, oh my God, I already know I suck. Now I have proof. And you don't want to face it. Right? But this is where the light goes in. This is where you get to revolutionize your own mindset. This is where you get to do some work. Shiva says, it's so funny and it's so true. I know. Oh, if you can't confess it to nobody else, you have to at least be able to confess it to yourself. Because you know you better than everybody else. So here comes the third question. There's 4 total. I just gave you one, right? What's the thing that annoys you about you or somebody else? What do you make up about yourself? Or, like what they're thinking or what they're thinking about you or what you think about yourself, right? What's the negative connotation of that? Here comes a third one, 3 or 4. 3 or 4, question number 3. Why is that important? Because I tell you something, if somebody thinks that I'm a blue frog, that doesn't matter to me. But if somebody thinks that I'm a coward, I have weight on that. Why is that important? If somebody doubts my capacity or my intelligence, why does that matter more than somebody calling me a blue frog? And for you, whatever that may be, if somebody doesn't tell you the truth, maybe you have a trigger around lying. Somebody doesn't tell you the truth. Why is that important? What opportunity or what big goal or what big idea did you miss out on because somebody did that or because you did that? And going along, I'm going to take you through the whole answer for the example that I just used. The reason why that matters is because there have been times when I was a coward and I missed out on an opportunity to speak up or to defend somebody or to advocate for somebody or to speak up for myself because I didn't want to seem like I was the bad guy, because I didn't want to seem mean, because I didn't want to seem rude. And I didn't advocate for myself, or I didn't advocate for somebody else. And I kind of lost respect for myself in that moment, in the moments when I did that. So when somebody insinuates that there's something that I can't handle, it reminds me of the times when I dropped the ball. Oh, you didn't think we were going to get deep this morning, huh? Oh, no. Summer series is here, darling. We're going to get deep. It's going to get hot. It's the summertime. All right. And now question number 4. Can you forgive yourself for being human? Can you forgive yourself for not having it all together? Can you forgive yourself for the places where you've missed the mark? Can you forgive yourself for the times when you chose the easier way out, when you sold out, when you were smaller than you know you can be? It's a yes or no question. I haven't even gotten to will you, just can you? Can you forgive yourself for that? Because if you want an extra credit question, we can add a number 5 and say, will you? Right? If you and I were working together if I were your leadership coach, if this was like a coaching session and I was going through this line of questioning for you and you said, like Shiva says, I'm working on forgiving myself. The next question I would ask is, what is the payoff that you get from not forgiving yourself? Because listen, human beings are really smart and we only do things that we benefit from. So what is the benefit of not forgiving yourself? Well, here's a possibility. When I don't forgive myself, then I can hold this punishment, I can hold this thing that I can throw in my face over my own head, so that when and if I ever jack up again, I can throw it in my face and it can justify my smallness. See, I knew you were going to fuck up because look at what you did last time. And then you can justify your smallness. Because it's really, really hard to swallow. You guys, I don't know why this happens with human beings. I don't know. I don't know that it's my business to know. But what I know is it's so hard for us to step into mercy. It's like we're just always waiting for the other shoe to drop. We don't believe in somebody else's grace. We hardly give it to ourselves. She says, oh, this is what we're doing today? Yes. Yes, the heat is on, baby. It's the summer. I know, it's so hard. And here's what I'm going to say about this. Yeah, wallowing in self-pity, Laura, absolutely. Wallowing in self-pity, because it was like, oh my God. But I'm going to say out loud what I think is happening emotionally or energetically when we're doing this as human beings. Mother God, perfecter, creator, sustainer in all things. You have created the universe, the trees, the birds, the oceans. You've created all of this perfection, but me, I am the black mark on your record. You dropped the ball on me, God. That's why I'm dropping the balls on things and people. I am the only documented mistake in God's record. Benno's over there jacking up. Now, can I just tell you how arrogant that sounds? Can I just tell you what a cute little smart, clever way to assert your own specialness in your smallness. Lord have mercy. If you can't assert your specialness in being an emanation and a creation and made in the image and likeness of God, you're going to be the opposite. Either way, you're going to be special. Woo! We are smart after all. Eventually, when you go down the road of questioning your assumptions, questioning why you do a certain thing the way you do that certain thing, what is the payoff, what is the cost of this particular behavior or this particular position, you're going to run into your own absurdity. If this is a decision you've made at the ego level, eventually you're going to run into the ridiculousness of your own ego, and you're either going to reassert your fear or it's going to dissolve. It's going to be like, I'm being ridiculous. This is hilarious. Right? And I invite you to laugh at your own absurdity. Here's an exercise that I like to give people. Pick the thing. Pick, like what we just did, 1 through 5, right? Pick the thing. I hate it when people do X because what it means about me is Y. Okay, fill in that blank. I hate when people, I don't know, lie to me because it means that they think I'm stupid. Wherever you have an I can't afford it. I don't have time. I don't have the capacity. Whatever it is, pick your favorite limiting belief. Put some limiting beliefs in the chat for me. Let's brainstorm together. Let's crowdsource this thing. What are some of your favorite limiting beliefs? I can't afford it. I don't have time. I don't have this gift. What are some of them? Put them in the chat. I'm too busy. Yeah. All right. What else? What else? I don't have the proper education. I don't have the certifications. This is not my problem. That's somebody else's problem. Okay. So somebody else's problem, I'm going to say that's not my problem. All right. So wherever you have any kind of I pronoun, I, me, mine, put God and see if it still makes sense. God's too busy. God doesn't have the time. That's not God's problem. Okay. God's judging me. God doesn't have the right brain functioning. All right. Wherever you have I, me, or my, put God and see if it still makes sense to you. If it makes sense, carry on. If it doesn't make sense, whatever you cannot say or will not say about God, cannot and will not say it about you. Nothing unworthy of God is worthy of you. Let me say that again. For those of you that are shaking your head. Nothing unworthy of God is worthy of you. Oh, that's a good one, Laura. I'm stupid. Can you imagine? God's stupid. God, you know what? God bless him. Hey, bless himself. He's so slow. God is just so slow, so stupid. Can you even imagine? You're going to laugh. At some point, you're going to laugh. When you start rolling through the things you say about yourself and you start saying them about God, eventually you're going to start giggling. You're going to be like, I'm tripping. I have been on a trip for a long, long time, and I'm just now starting to get over it. Right? And so, if you were really for real, made in the image and likeness of your divine creator, the creator that made everything in perfection, I'm going to assume that you assume this about your creator, that God's creations were all made in perfection. I-N, second word, perfection. Okay. If that is true, then wouldn't your triggers also be perfect? And wouldn't they also serve a purpose? Whatever thing you have or are that is no longer useful, like it's a vestigial organ in your body, you would have gotten rid of it by all, you know what I mean? Like there's a reason you don't have a tail. You don't need a tail. You have opposing thumbs now. You have internal balance in your inner ear. So there's a way that you can manage around the world now without needing a tail to balance yourself. So the tail disappeared. In the same way, when you have a trigger that is present today, it's because you need it for your spiritual unfolding. So wouldn't it make more sense to get curious about what is here to teach you rather than suppressing it and ignoring it and pretending it's not there and minimizing it? I mean, if what you're up to is spiritual maturity. If you're up to just status quo, I can understand why you wouldn't want to look at it. Right? But the way you interact with your triggers lets me know what game you're up to. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Rashida, you have your hand raised.
Grand Rising, Dr. Ogando, Grand Rising, everyone. It's just amazing that you started this 4 points, end up with 5 points. And all of them related to a lot of us. And I don't know if it's because I live where I live, and I ground myself every morning. Sometimes force myself out of bed to go and walk 3 miles on the trail. And I remember I have 2 ladies that walk on the trail also. See one of them in the supermarket last week, Saturday. I said, Kim, what happened that you didn't came back to the trail? She said, oh no, I'm not going to walk with the bears and the deers. So the fear of walking the trail is what have prevent her from coming back to the trail. She said, you still walk the trail? I said, yes. The bears and deers, they from nature. And if I am walking in their avatar, I have to deal with it. So what the points that you make this morning trigger me in every given point of my life, of my daily routine. I'm going to take something personally when they say something to me. If I'm stupid, I'm not stupid. I am not stupid. 'Cause I know that I'm not stupid. So if they can say it, Master Tough, I say good luck to you. But the negativity, I don't walk with it. So it doesn't affect me. It doesn't trigger me, because then once you don't accept it, it doesn't come into your face. There's a whole lot of stuff that don't come to you or don't resonate with you, because then you are not part of it. You block it out of your life. So those trigger points that you make, I just love them, but I'm not taking them because I'm godly. I am, as the creator have made me, so I am. So how to trigger them, trust me, it will come to you, but it's up to you if you want to accept it or you want to run with it. Thank you so much for the topic. Thank you so much for the points them. And I took them and I run with them. Thank you.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Good stuff. Thank you for your share. Who else has something? Shiva says,
hey, how is my sound?
Who's that?
How is my sound? Gio.
Hi, Gio. Your sound's great.
Yeah? All right. Well, I'm in Colombia now.
Oh, Colombia.
Yeah, and I was taking a walk. And what I wanted to say, today's episode was just phenomenal. And one of my takeaways, of the many takeaways, is it's well, three. I'm going to say three. I'm going to say them wrong. One is what is my payoff for not forgiving an aspect of myself? And that's, it's like, I gotta be with it sufficiently enough so that I can find it, because it's not quite transparent. The other aspect is, I am God's only one documented mistake. That's just,
All right.
that's just freaking awesome. And the other one is, you can't say something to yourself that you wouldn't say to God. And that's a profound thing to consider. That's a profound thing to play with. So this is a phenomenal episode. Thank you for today's conversation.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for that. Love it. Okay, last one. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Hi, this is Shiva. So what Gio said, all what he said, and oh goodness, I'm so grateful for what you said there, well, all of what you shared, but when you talked about, you said if about like the triggers, like how essentially they're perfect and they're a part of our journey. And I literally felt myself do an exhale, like, because I do the work, I'm on this personal development journey. And then there's sometimes I'm like, why am I still triggered by this thing I've been working on for 20 years? And right when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, of course. So thank you, because oh goodness, thank you. I was like, whoa, but yeah, I'm so grateful. This is so timely.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that, Shiva. Okay, you guys, so
You're
listen,
welcome.
I have a resource for you. Do you want me to give you a resource so you can continue to kind of like canoodle on this, ruminate on this? This is what I'm going to give you. If you go to, and I'm going to put this on the chat as well. And if you'll do me a favor, Liz, and put this on the YouTube chat, because I'm only putting it on the Zoom chat. But if you go to monikahogando.com, it's free, by the way. If you go to monikahogando.com/daily-huddle, you're gonna get first dibs to the accompanying workbook and materials for the summer series. It's called When Your Soul Wakes. It's 100% free. And you'll see how I take you through this 10-part series over the summer, When Your Soul Wakes. So go monikahogando.com/daily-huddle and sign up there. And you'll see, this is going to take us all through June, July, and part of August. You'll see. I wonder who you will be at the end of this journey, darling, as we enter into the new autumn equinox in September. So thank you again for being here with us. Sign up for When Your Soul Wakes at monikahogando.com/daily-huddle. It's free for you for the whole summer series. And I want you to know that you get to love generously, laugh a lot, sleep at least 7 or 8 hours if you're a man. If you're a woman, 9 to 10 hours. There's been biological studies done on that. Eat more plant-based, stress less, give more. Shake your tail feather. Remember that twerking is a spiritual practice to raise your Kundalini energy. And of course, always, always audit your assumptions. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Thank you, everybody, for being here. See you next time.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Excellent job.